And this is the big lesson I learned this year when it came to my style and what we're not doing in 2025. So excited. We are diving into the worst and the best purchases of 2024, plus a couple of things that are still on my wish list that I am regretting not purchasing. So grab your little drinky drink and let's dive right in. And if you happen to be new here, I am Jordan Blackwell, your sustainable materials bestie turned lifestyle content creator behind Little Miss JB Style, helping you find not just what's going to look good, because baby, we want to look good, but what is going to feel good and quality at every price point, because I do not believe you need to break the bank. And honestly, making smart purchases feels good and helps you build a wardrobe that you are going to love. So we're going to dive right in with the worst purchases, starting off with this top from Pretty Little Thing and also this jumpsuit from Pretty Little Thing. Okay, we'll start with the top. I really wanted a good layering piece because I'm in Michigan. It is cold. We are talking sub-zero temperatures already now in December. Like, rude. And I really was hoping for a good bodysuit that I could throw on underneath a lot of my pieces to add some warmth. But this one I got in my true size. And when I tell you, it was just cutting the circulation off. It was like, can't breathe, my arms. Like, I know sometimes you want something tight that's gonna serve snatch, but this was serving, girl, we're trying to choke you out, okay? This was serving absolutely not. And I'm so sad because from the colorway, I felt like this was gonna be so good, so classic, so easy, but it just was a no. It was a no for me. And right behind it, this jumpsuit. Okay, look. Hear me out. Here's the hard part about being a content creator sometimes is I have these grand ideas. I have these grand ideas for Valentine's Day and what I wanted to do for like hosting and outfit ideas and something super cutesy. The vision was there with this jumpsuit. The execution was not. Like, it was not flattering in the least. It was not comfortable in the least. I was just futzing and fidgeting, and you already know, like, one of my major rules is if I have to fidget with my piece, if I have to adjust it and constantly adjust it, I do not need to have it in my closet. That's going to be a waste of my money, because who wants to do that all day? Not me, not me. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. So I'm really sad because, like, I definitely had visions for both of those pieces. And I do find some really great pieces from Pretty Little Thing. Like, one of my most shopped sets is this one from Pretty Little Thing. And I swear by it. And I have it in 2 colors. It's that good. It's so good. But this was just a letdown. And especially like wanting a good basic and then wanting something also not just for Valentine's Day, but I also envisioned this for Christmas and I'm doing my 12 days of holiday outfits. Like, I really thought I was gonna run this back, but it was not giving what it needed to give. Had to move because that lighting was driving me crazy. But coming in next from Fashion Nova, these pants. I didn't even get a picture in these pants. I didn't even get a video in these pants because it was an instant, like instantaneously, like send it back, return to sender. Absolutely, absolutely not, because this brings me into one of the pieces that I should have just bought instead, which is what I really wanted, which was these pants from Lioness with the snow leopard. Amazing, gorgeous. I saw a girl wear these in New York and I was like, yes. So when I was working with Fashion Nova, I was looking through their site trying to find something similar, like, you know what, maybe they've got these, and it was so disappointing. From the colorway to the fabric, it was like deception, disgrace. Like, and I should have known better because honestly, y'all, like, I have been doing this for some time. I normally do not get catfished anymore by the photos, but they caught me. Like, they said, got him. And I'm so sad because the concept was there. And this is the big lesson I learned this year when it came to my style and what we're not doing in 2025, and that's just getting placeholder stuff. I'm no longer buying anything that's similar. Just get what you want instead of getting the close enough, instead of trying to get the Dupiana. Like, unless it is a guaranteed, like, one for one, you're gonna be upset if it's not the original one. Like, I will say this year, I feel like every year, right, I do really well with buying intentionally and getting good pieces. And if it doesn't work, I send it back. I don't have a problem with that. But there's always gonna be fails. And it's not like the brand, well, in this case, it's not like they tried to catfish, it's not like they tried to catfish me, but like truly what happens sometimes is, again, like I have an idea of how I think it's gonna look or fit in my mind, and then just the reality of how it looks or fits is not what I want it to be. And this was definitely that. And I should have just gotten what I originally wanted. And so moving into 2025, like that's the mantra. Like, is this actually what I want, or am I just trying to get something close enough to what I actually want? And if the answer is B, we're just gonna go ahead and skip out on the piece, save our money, save our stress, because that happened a number of times. The other thing that was a fail this year, these Target pants. Because again, I know what I really wanted. I really wanted some nice wider leg burgundy leather pants. I did. I haven't found like the pair I want, but I knew in my mind that's what I wanted. So when I tried these on in the store, they fit great. They looked good in my mind, but then just like in the application, once I got it home and tried it on with the pieces I thought I was gonna style it with, it was just, it was not doing what it needed to do. Like, this is the burden of being so specific. And I don't know if this is a Virgo thing or just, again, having your own flair. This just comes with the territory. But when I say I'm so specific, it's not even funny. And so I really was hoping that this could pass muster. Like, this was going to be close enough. It wasn't. It wasn't even close. Like, I literally took them back within the same week. And I feel like that's just kind of been, thankfully, like I said, the experiences I've had, I haven't bought anything where it was like one just so terrible that and I couldn't get my money back. Because I think that to me would be like worst case scenario. Like, I bought something and then I somehow couldn't return it. Jordan, never, babes, never. It's like, having like a company with a bad return policy is honestly enough to keep me from purchasing from the company. Like, if I have to pay over a certain amount to return it, like, and if you're telling me I only get store credit, I'm already on the road, babes. Like, I'm already exiting out, closing out my tabs. Like, never mind, never mind, never mind. Because I really just do feel as though I miss those days where a lot more companies stood behind, hey, if you don't like it, your money back, right? Because as long as I haven't damaged it, I really got it home, I tried it on, I just didn't love it. So I love stores that allow me to actually return stuff. Like, that's one of the reasons me and ASOS are like this, because I get paid 20 bucks for the entire year, I get express shipping and free returns. And same with being an H&M member. You don't even have to pay to be an H&M member, but then you get free shipping and free returns. Like, so thankfully, like Target, that's one of the reasons I also like them. I could easily return the pants because, again, in my mind, I was so hopeful that I was gonna be able to like feng shui it, but it just didn't work how I wanted it to work. Then the last fail I had, honestly, I shouldn't have been surprised. Like, this was such a rookie mistake. I can't even believe they caught me like this, but these two pairs of shoes from Fashion Nova. They're cute. Okay, look, like, I paired the seashell ones with this outfit and the vibes were giving what I needed them to give, but the comfort, y'all, I had them on for not even like 20 minutes doing a photo shoot. I had blisters. I had legitimate blisters. I haven't had shoes give me blisters and I don't know how long. I don't know how long. And like, I thought maybe because it was like the cute strap, this would be a safe choice, but I knew better, honestly. Like, when it comes to sandals and sandal heels specifically, I have just found like the fast fashion brands, I just have to skip over it. I have to. I have yet to find comfortable, inexpensive sandal heels. It just has not happened for me yet. I have a little bit wider feet. I'm heavy footed. Like, I walk loud, like thumper. That was what my dad used to call me, because like, that's how I walk, just heavy footed. Okay. And I was really hopeful because both of these like heels, I wanted something obviously that was going to be fun and a little bit more of a statement to wear with my stuff in the summer. Neither of these did it. And I got them in my true size. Like, both of these were so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Like, I couldn't even save it with the cute little like felt strips. I know you're going to say, Jordan, go on Amazon. They've got the felt. I tried that. There was no saving these. There was no saving these. They want to be saved. We had to let them go. And that was just, again, a rookie mistake for me, because I know, having partnered with them, like, I was taking a little bit more risk, because I have gotten some boots from them that were super comfortable, but the sandal heels, I took the risk and I failed. And I'm so curious, like, Have you had that experience? Like, do you not shop at certain places because you can't return things? Are you really good about reading like the return information? Or is it just like, I'm a buy it and whatever happens, happens? I'm super curious, like, what kind of shopper are you when it comes to looking at the returns? I've got to know. Tell me in the comments below. Adding something a little bit different to the video with some of the things on my wish list I actually wish I would have purchased. Of course, we just talked about the Lioness jeans because how good are these? How good are these? With like a cool bomber jacket, I have this cream one from Vici collection that I love. I've been wearing a lot lately. That would look so good with these. This paired with honestly just like a cool white tee or a cool like elevated basic like top. You know that's where I live. I'm so mad. I'm so mad I didn't get these. I should have just did it when I had the thought, but I digress. Another one, this top from H&M. I won't lie, a lot of my like I'm sad I didn't purchase things did come from H&M because their price point too was not crazy. Like this top, how good is this? With that squiggly detailing, you have the gold, like so good for the summer, so good for special occasions like that with some like silky or like velvet pants for the holiday season. Mistakes were made. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't get it, but I think about this top entirely too often. Entirely too often. Another one was this pink Zara dress. I was really on the fence because I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna wear this. I don't know, like the price point makes sense. Like I overthought it as Virgos do. I'm an overthinker. And I instantly regret it because I was in Thailand and the Philippines for 5 whole weeks. I definitely would have worn that dress. Left, right, down, sideways. It was so cute, so breezy, so comfortable. I looked so good. And then I have some really fun trips coming up already for 2025. And I'm just like, now why did you talk yourself out of it? Out of it. And honestly, I want to talk about something that I feel like a lot of the girlies, I don't know, they don't talk about as much. Which is like, I do actually have a budget. I know that can be like, collect your breath, like breathe, breathe. Influencers and creators, we do have budgets. I don't know why people act like we're not real people. I very much have a budget each month for how much I want to spend on clothes and all of the things. And honestly, a lot of my budget goes to traveling and eating and coffee. I'm gonna be so honest. Like, that's why you will notice I do a lot more try on videos in the store versus like buying the clothes and like having to do all that. And you'll notice I don't have like super big 20, 30 item hauls because I really don't shop like that. And I'm not about to fake a lifestyle I don't have. And I'm thinking back about this and was like, you know what? Now that I am thinking about this, I knew that we were talking about going on this trip, but nothing had been solidified. And I really wanted to make sure, at the very least, I knew I was going to the Philippines for my friend's vow renewal. Had to happen. Was not negotiable. Was gonna make it. But with that in mind, then I wanted to make sure I had the budget to make that happen, especially because we were going into like the end of my first full year as a creator. And I will not lie, like the brand deals they were lacking. They were lacking more than they were now. So I was just really wanting to make sure I had the money aside for that now that I'm thinking about it. But I still think about that dress often and really wish I would have added to cart and just purchased it. It would have been so good, so chic. I looked absolutely amazing. I'm gutted. I'm gutted. And moving into some of my favorite purchases of the year, a lot of them are actually not clothing and they're not beauty. Don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of great beauty products this year. I will say I got introduced to this blush by Bare Minerals. Obsessed. Obsessed. It's such a good shade. It goes on so creamy, so smooth, and it gives like both a bronzing and a highlight. I can't quite explain it, but it's giving crease, it's serving face, and the shade is so gorgeous. I'm really, really happy I ended up getting that. And then also, if you've watched any of my favorites, this one will not be a surprise, the SK2 Facial Essence. It's serving what it needs to serve. It makes my skin so hydrated and so happy, like so good. So I'm really glad I got those. But one of my favorite purchases for sure this year was my trip to Thailand and the Philippines. I'm gonna talk about some of the lessons I learned this year in a later video. And I learned a lot about myself during that trip and a lot of what I was capable of. And I'm so glad that I made sure I put the money aside to go and have that experience and be there with my friends and celebrating and really just pushing myself. And a lot of my favorite purchases have been that, because the other favorite purchase I had this year was actually Moonlit Yoga with Chelsea, because she had a really, really powerful prompt during the one that I went to, and it really shifted a lot for me. And that was so great and so needed for me. I think very often a lot of people also forget that content creators, influencers, we actually can spend a lot of time inside in our four walls. And like, it's so important to have a community, and it's so important to like get out and connect. And Chelsea does such a great job doing like very community oriented type flows and type yoga. So I just loved that, and was so glad that I had made that a priority to go ahead and attend in September for my birthday. It was just like exactly what I needed. One of my favorite home purchases, the Lowe's cabinet. Honestly, the whole bathroom redo, if you saw that, like that was so necessary. And it actually has inspired me, because I think for the longest I kind of was like, not sure if I'm staying in my apartment or if I wanted to move downtown, because I love my space. But, I'm getting invited to a lot more stuff in the city. And so it feels like it'd be nice to be closer. But because I haven't really like done any moves in that direction, it has inspired me to think about redoing my upstairs studio where I shoot a lot of my outfit videos, and like change that into a cloffice. And the hard part I'm having is I don't want to copy everybody and do the same IKEA pack system. I really don't. Like, it is functional, but I really want something that's going to be a little bit different. I really love the setup that Janae Naylor has, especially with that big middle console. And I've seen this one floating around on Pinterest that has caught my eye. But the bathroom remodel, the Lowe's cabinet, that was so great. And what I love about that cabinet is it's gorgeous and it's so versatile. Like, if I want to use that and like get rid of my bar cart and make like a cute coffee setup, which might be happening next year as well. If I want to move that upstairs for storage, it's such a great piece that again will work with a lot of different spaces regardless of your style, and it's great for storage. And I just love the different colorways that they had, and it was affordable. Like, I think that was the other thing too. I think the hard part when I'm looking for a lot of the storage solutions, it's like, bro, why is this so much money? Like, I don't need $500, $600 like storage units, like, especially because a lot of them are not giving the quality to be that price point as well. But the Lowe's cabinet, so good. As you see, it's gorgeous, just gorgeous. And I'm so glad I finally organized my bathroom. Like, so glad. It's such a sigh of relief. Like, isn't it, when you just finally get that project done, you like clean your space, whatever, like that just breath of fresh air is so great. And the other thing, speaking of fresh air, the Vitruvi move, worth it. Worth it. Look, I take that thing with me everywhere. Look, if it would go in my purse, let it run in the bedroom, bring it downstairs, let it run in the bathroom, set it on my coffee table. I'm so glad, because it was so unnecessary having 4 different ones. So the fact that they actually figured out a way to truly make it wireless, worth it. Worth it, worth it, worth it. To be honest, clothes-wise, I really don't have a lot of favorite purchases. I know that's gonna sound insane, because here's the hard part. I love all of my children equally. But for real though, like, I feel as though what I have loved about my style and what I've really grown into this year is like, I make the clothes. The clothes don't make me, right? So a lot of my purchases have been to really fuel my creativity, and not have been to like, how sometimes you like buy something, it's like, oh, it's this. Like, I've really moved away from that this year, and I was really proud, where it's like having a certain piece, like that's not what elevated me. It's like the way I'm about to style it, the way I'm gonna wear it, that's really elevated me this year. But I will say something I'm glad I invested in this year was my Soko ring jewelry. I feel like these 2 things alone have really just elevated my ring stack. I get asked about them nonstop. And the other thing I love about Soko is that it does give the money back to the artisans in Kenya. Like, those are the brands, when I'm thinking about spending more money, I'm considering. I really am looking more for brands that function like this, where it's like more of a collective. I don't know if you're familiar with Pingree in Detroit, but they work that way, where anybody who works for the company owns stock in the company. They all get to say what happens to the company, and the money goes back to the people who are physically making these products. And I feel like those are the brands in 2025 I'm really trying to zero in on a little bit more. I feel like I did really great supporting like woman-owned and black-owned brands this year, but I want to go even further. I really do, because those companies really feel the impact of the purchases that we're making. That makes me feel so good knowing that like because I purchased from Soko, an artist in Kenya continues to be an artist. They are able to do this full time, you know what I mean? And because I was able to support them and I did support them, that makes me feel so good, like being able to give back in that way and show support in that way where it's not like, okay, you know, let me share a post or like a post. Like I can spend my money with you and help give you the capital you need to continue doing business. Like that's that's really like the level of intentionality I'm really getting into. And that's not to say, y'all, we're still gonna be at Target. I'm still gonna be at H&M. I'm still gonna shop at Zara, ASOS. Like the regular players are gonna be the regular players. But I really have loved this year finding more brands that have that intentionality, that do go that extra step, and it isn't just about the business making more money to their bottom line, but also making sure that the workers are rewarded as well and able to make a sustainable, livable income. Like that to me is just so important after everything we've kind of seen over the past couple of years with COVID and then the election. Like that's definitely the kinds of purchases that are making me feel good and are my favorite purchases. To be honest, like I think about even my Brandon Blackwood purses, like it just makes me feel so good that I could save up enough money and expand my collection and add more of his bags. And I know that for him and for the people in that company, that's a bigger deal than, you know, no offense to like Jacquemus, Tom Ford, Gucci, right? All of those brands. Like it's just hard to view them in the same way for me personally, especially because they're so much more established and have been generating thousands upon thousands and hundreds of millions for years, whereas emerging designers, right, are just now getting these opportunities and just now able to make this money and really filter it back in to the community in what way they see fit. So I feel like that really has made me feel so good this year and one of my favorite fashion purchases, I would say. And you also just got an idea of where I'm headed moving into 2025 because you know, as much as we're all like, okay, 2025, new year, I love to do these wraps. I feel like really giving like a moment of gratefulness and acknowledgement to like the good moments, my favorites, and again, like some things that might not have worked out how I wanted them to, you know, is so important, like moving from one season into the next and one year into the next. So, you know, like I said, for me, a lot of the purchases, they're not the worst, they just were fails for me. Like they just did not work how I was hoping that they were gonna work. But that also made me wiser to make better purchases later in the year because a lot of those purchases were at like the top of the year. And I'm realizing now, like a lot of my more recent purchases have definitely been like on point, banging. Like, and if you like these kinds of videos, you like learning about what I think about when I buy pieces, how to buy intentionally at any price point, finding quality at any price point, and building on a wardrobe that not just looks good, but feels good and lasts you for years, you're actually going to enjoy this entire playlist with my try-ons, my hauls. You can get an idea of the purchases I've been loving, how I've been styling them. But before you head over there, if you like these kinds of videos with lifestyle, travel, beauty, fashion, all helping you build out the wardrobe you love and reach that level you want to reach and feel like the baddie you are, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a video. Turn on those notifications too. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you over there.